I'm about to show you how one signature on a tiny piece of paper created an entire country. In 1914, Britain didn't conquer Nigeria in a great war. It invented it on paper by mashing 3 rival colonies together. There was no voting, no grand meeting, nothing. But the craziest part? The Northern leaders, who seemed to have the most to lose, practically begged Britain to do it. They used this merger as the ultimate corporate masterstroke. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how they pulled off this insane political takeover. Before we begin, if you love uncovering hidden dramatic moments from history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your thoughts. It really helps us bring you more stories like this one. Okay, so Britain had a huge accounting problem. Imagine Nigeria as a company with 2 divisions. The Southern Division was a cash cow, overflowing with money from things like palm oil and cocoa. But the Northern Division was a massive drain, losing so much money it was like a black hole in the company's budget. It was costing Britain a fortune just to keep it afloat. The man in charge, Frederick Lugard, had 2 choices. Either shut down the Northern Division entirely, or make the Southern Division pay for it. When the Northern Emirs, the heads of the Northern Division, heard this, they panicked. This wasn't just a budget cut, it was an existential threat. If Britain pulled the plug, they'd lose their power, their private armies, everything. It was like being told your entire life's work was about to be liquidated. They had to make a deal, and they had to do it fast. So, what do you do when your whole kingdom is on the verge of bankruptcy? The Northern leaders didn't declare war. They launched a brilliant corporate-style lobbying campaign. They flooded British officials with messages that essentially said, "We get it. You want to merge the bank accounts. Go ahead. But you cannot touch our management system." They pitched the North as the most cost-effective, hands-off way to run a colony. It was a genius sales pitch. One phone call to the Sultan, and his own local managers would collect all the taxes for you, no questions asked. But they didn't stop there. In London, they hired lobbyists to spread wild stories about scary warrior tribes that would erupt in rebellion if Britain cut their funding. It was a high-stakes bluff, like telling a corporate board that firing you would cause the entire factory to burn down. And it worked. British politicians got so spooked by the idea of a war that they agreed to merge everything just to keep the peace. They literally copied and pasted paragraphs from the Emir's letters directly into official policy documents. It was an absolutely insane power play. So on January 1st, 1914, a super boring document makes the merger official, but hidden inside is a secret clause that functions like a poison pill for one side and a golden ticket for the other. Clause 7 basically said, the North gets to keep all of its old laws, customs, and traditional power structures under the Emirs. For them, it was a complete power-up. It was like a corporate merger where one partner gets to keep their entire executive team, gets several seats on the new board, and gets a veto. But the South? They got nothing. No guarantees, no protection. They were just the cash machine. All of a sudden, Northern leaders weren't just surviving, they were thriving. They got seats on the new Nigerian council and a vote on how to spend all that Southern money. The Southern representatives could only offer advice that everyone promptly ignored. In one move, the North's massive debt was transformed into a 46% share of the entire country's budget. It wasn't a merger. It was a hostile takeover signed and delivered with a smile, and the payoff was immediate. I'm talking literally 6 months later. They used Southern money to build a massive railway from the South all the way to the North. Imagine 2 kids sharing a piggy bank. One kid puts in all the money, and the other kid immediately takes it out to buy a toy for himself. Then they made it cheaper to ship Northern goods on that railway. It gets crazier. When the British started giving out prestigious scholarships to schools like Oxford, guess what? Almost all of them went to students from the North. The North even got to keep its own legal system and protect its land from outsiders, privileges the South didn't have. People in the South were furious, calling it a marriage without consent. But the British basically just said, "Too bad. It's cheaper and easier this way." The North had played the game and won. Big time. Now fast forward over 100 years, and you can still see the blueprint of this deal everywhere in Nigeria today. Every time politicians argue about sharing oil money, it's an echo of the 1914 agreement designed to ensure the North would never go broke. It's like a Jenga tower built on a crooked foundation. The whole structure is permanently wobbly. The Northern leaders played their hand perfectly and cemented their power for a century. The Southern business owners got a bigger market but were hit with higher taxes and lost their voice in government. And Britain? They got a cheap self-funding empire. So it seems like everyone won, right? Wrong. The 250 different ethnic groups who were forced into this new company without a single consultation, they never got a say at all. Britain created one of the world's most complicated balancing acts, not for glory or unity, but simply to save some cash. If your mind is as blown as mine is, hit that subscribe button right now and comment below. So there you have it. Nigeria wasn't born from an epic battle or a unified movement of leaders. No, it was invented in budget memos and backroom deals, sold to Britain as a simple accounting fix. The next time you hear someone passionately say "One Nigeria," just remember the insane political play that glued 250 nations together without asking a single one of them. It just proves that history isn't always about heroes and villains. Sometimes, it's just about who pays the bills.